I'm here in the secret location for the rehearsal for the Dragontown Dance series of hometown shows. And we're real excited and thankful for being able to be part of this. We want to thank Elaine, wherever she is, if she's still in Texas, but she's been really good about communicating with all the particulars. We missed the first rehearsal. I got to apologize. It was like we missed it by that much.
No worries.
But the first thing about Dan, my God, hometown boy does well. And that's what we like to see, because here at KCOSdigitalmedia.com, we play only Colorado music, and we especially like to highlight individuals that have done it right and made a mark in this world, right? And so
I like to leave marks. You can ask them.
Well, you know, being a mark myself, I have been a casualty every once in a while, but you know, my email address is checkmark. I'm a stray mark sometimes, but
Okay.
you know. So Dragontown Dan. Dragontown's the moniker you picked up off of a Alice Cooper album a few years ago.
Yeah, I did. The reason was I have known Alice a long time, at least 2 decades, maybe a little longer than that, before I even started doing the show. And that tour was the one that stood out to me as the most theatrical, the most over the top, and just the most thematic. And therefore I thought, you know what, that's a good name. It's a strange name. People don't know necessarily maybe what it is. It has some mystique and some mystery to it. And they always ask me twice, what is the name of it? It's always a good thing when they ask twice.
Well, and that's it. Repetition is the key to acknowledgement, right?
Yes.
But 1996, you were working at a costume shop, right?
We've got Zeezo's costume shop here in Colorado Springs, which is a Colorado landmark.
It is a landmark.
Founded by Zeezo the Clown. It's the only remaining store of its kind in the state, but there's actually theatrical productions that come from Denver down here because the staff there is so adept with what they do. But I started working as a seasonal Halloween manager for the store during October, just because I'm a Halloween nut. And I brought up to the owners at the time that maybe if we engage the employees in characters that they have some affinity to, and have them design that character, but also incorporate a piece of something that the store offers to guests, then we're doing 2 things. We're satisfying some creative aspect of that employee. We're engaging the guests at a different level, unlike any other retail outlet. And then the other thing is that we're helping to pimp stuff in the store, which is what it's all about.
And that's why Zeezo's is a landmark here in town.
And so it sort of turned into its own entity with me doing the Alice character when the store was growing. We'd have lines out the door, registers overheating, and I started doing trivia with people and giving them whoopee cushions and this and that and the other thing. And pretty soon it became, well, where's Alice this year? And I probably did that for 21 years. At that point, I was the longest running employee who kept coming back for more punishment.
So at what point did you actually meet Alice? Did he seek you out, or did you seek him out?
No, would not be that fortunate. I have a minor in electronic music, and my bachelor's degree is in communication, and my master's is in film production. And I lived in Chicago, in LA, and in Nashville. During the course of my travels, I got to meet a lot of people. I worked with a recording artist in Southern California back in the day, and his drummer went by the name of Ken Mary. And Ken Mary, Alice will say to this day, is still probably one of the best singers he's ever had in his band. But Ken Mary was his drummer, and Ken Mary actually left Alice to play with Ken Tamplin, who is a gospel rock nominee. He's won multiple Dove Awards in the Christian industry. He actually left the Coop to go play for Ken. And that's how I first began to kind of have some interface with that circle.
So now the whole affinity for being a tribute act for Alice, I mean, it's uncanny that you look the part. I saw the picture of you guys facing each other, and now I hear the voice. That part is really uncanny because, you know, a lot of people have to kind of mask their voices to do what they need to do to, you know, like an impersonator, and impersonator is not a fair term, I know that, so no disrespect there, but so this thing about you actually did a world record, what made you want to do that?
Probably a slight mental disorder.
That's a good answer.
To be honest about it.
That's very
I
fitting.
thought if I'm going to do this at that point in time, I committed to working that whole 30 days at Zeezo's, and I said, well, I'm just going to dress up like Alice for 30 days, and when I'm there, I'm him. I'm this sarcastic character, and that's what people would come to expect. And so that's what I did for 30 days, and that was my notorious world record.
Now, how did you tip off someone that, okay, today was the start, and...
I'm a media whore, so any opportunity I get to self-promote, that's what I do. And you can't expect people to gravitate towards what you do if you don't believe in what you do and you don't have fun with it. If you create that fun and that passion, that energy, and I've got a great band here that is all about that, they will tell you that I'm a consummate coach and a mentor when it comes to attitude, the way we approach things, the way that we treat people, the way that we carry our brand, because this is a brand, and we need to think of it that way. You have a different set of expectations when you're doing a tribute band because you have people coming to see you who have seen the real thing.
Yes.
And so the bar is not here as if you're playing original music. The bar is now here. And you have to think that way. And once you start to change that mindset, then you start to change your reality and the way that you approach things, and especially with a show like this. And as JP, our future Colorado Rock and Roll Hall of Fame guitar player, says, the best compliment we ever get is when fans after a show say, I've seen the real thing and I did not know the difference. Or even better, we had a guy, didn't we? We had a guy at the show in Texas who said, you know, I saw Alice this summer and you were better than Alice. Okay, all right.
You know, and I was going to actually bring, I've shot Alice Cooper in Freya's Auditorium in Dayton, Ohio, of all places.
Right.
I was going to bring a picture, but I thought, no, that's not even right, you know? But I'm sure your stage act is going to be true to form. All the reviews I've read have been nothing but complimentary. The footage I've seen, I can't wait to try and craft our spin on what you do at Stargazers. But you, once again, Colorado Springs kind of guy. And you actually have been doing the St. Patty's Day Parade in costume.
Yeah, we did the St. Patty's Day Parade, and I headed up the most eclectic group of freaks that I could find for that for 2 years in a row.
I wish I knew you then.
And for the 2 years that I did it, we won most entertaining entry in the parade. But it was just so much work to do it. And then the question is, as a consummate capitalist, where's the payoff for me? Because doing things just for fun doesn't pay the bills and it doesn't move me forward. So it's fun and I work with all these people, but at some point the ego stroke doesn't mean anything and you've got to have something more to it. And therefore that's why I did not do that any further. However, the lovely insatiable Kelsey will be joining me for the Emma Crawford Coffin Race Parade this year, and we'll be handing out flyers and some other goodies along the parade route on the 28th of October, which incidentally is the same day as our show that night at 7 p.m. at Stargazers Theater.
Absolutely.
And I think some of the other folks in the band will probably may dress up too and come along the parade route. So.
Well, Emma Crawford Coffin Races is a definite must-do in the area. People come from all over
the world. Yeah.
You have to get there early because of the parking situation, because it's only, 4 blocks long. So you're going to be riding in something special?
No, I like to touch flesh. I'll be on the street.
Oh, because I know the...
I don't think I can taste flesh for that. I think that's probably an ordinance in town, so I'll touch flesh.
Well, in Manitou, they kind of a little more relaxed.
Manitou bends the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. So.
But, they actually have the Hearst Club come down and do the pre-roll through. That's how I started shooting photographs for the Hearst Club. And peaks and pasties. So for those events, I'm going to have to go back and look at my St. Patty's pictures and see if I just happen to see you
there
in there.
Are some of me out there floating around.
Well,
I only did it once. In all these years, I've only done it once.
Okay. Well, okay.
Because I've always been so busy for Halloween. But
yeah.
Now since the show is, after doing it for 10 years, has really started to gain momentum and international notoriety, now this is my concentration and this is my focal point. And escapism, since I don't drink and I don't hang around with too many wild women other than the two in the band, and I don't smoke. This is my outlet. So.
And you don't even golf, do you?
No, I lift up, my iron is in the gym, so
that's what I saw in the yes, that's very, counterintuitive, but with your mindset of making this a career, you've done more than most because you're endorsed by Alice, and you've been caught on camera with Alice, and you actually did a Pepsi Center duet with Alice. For those that haven't been scouring the internet like we just did. But
awesome. You did your homework, that's good.
Well, we would not be taken seriously by a gentleman such as yourself if I just came in and said, hey man, what do you want to talk about?
Good.
But another thing we wanted to mention your Freedom Light CD for Homefront Cares. Now, that was a very magnanimous gesture, and
yes, it was. I'm a very magnanimous person.
Well, this being a big military town, it fits, but not everywhere is so appreciative. Being a veteran myself and working around the country, I do know that, and so I want to personally thank you, and especially for all the stuff that you brought out for us to, we're going to do some giveaways and make this hyped up, hopefully as much as those other guys.
We appreciate it. Absolutely, the other guys.
We have a lot to be happy about, that somehow you guys let us in.
And I think that's a big thing too, is just gratitude for where you are and what you've done, and success is all just a matter of where you are in the moment. Kelsey's a veteran as well, and I think we all have veterans, right, that we know in our families and things of that nature. So it's always a good cause from my perspective to do that. We were glad to be able to put the song together and release it. It's a chance to flex some original creativity as well. Everybody in the band is super creative and brings a fantastic dynamic. Allie on keyboards is from El Paso originally. Mike, Colorado native, right?
Nope, Detroit.
Detroit, oh yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, so Mike's on bass, and then we've got Josiah from Southern California, but we won't hold that against him. And then we've got JP on guitar, who's from Buena Vista, and he's a Buena Vista boy. And then Tommy, are you from Springs originally? Tommy's from the Springs on drums. And Kelsey is a transplant, and she's Colorado.
I saw there was a transplant sticker in the parking lot.
We're from San Antonio, Texas.
I know. Don't you want to be known as a Colorado transplant? No? Okay. Her roots are still...
I'm a Texas girl.
She's a Texas girl.
And everywhere I go, being a photographer and a radio guy, everybody wants to know, Colorado is the new cool thing.
Right, yeah.
I'm a California guy too, but we won't talk much about that because, it is what it is. Yeah. But really, what we're here for is to talk about your events. You're going to be doing the Buffalo Rose on the 13th.
Right, so the shows that we have forthcoming to the balance of the tour here in 2017 is all in October. The 14th is going to be Buffalo Rose with the Iron Maidens and 3 other great opening bands. And then on Saturday, the 14th, is going to be the Booze and Brews here in Colorado Springs at the Altered Reality Event Center. For both of those events, if anyone wants further information or wants to hang out with us, there's VIP packages available at dragontowndan.com. You can hang out on the tour bus with us before both of those shows. So we've got a little extra special treat if you want to take advantage of that perk. And then we have Fox 21 News that's going to be broadcasting us live on the 26th of October from Stargazers Theater. We're going to commandeer their whole morning show, and lots of really neat surprises are going to be part of that as well. And then, of course, the Halloween show itself is going to be on the 28th at Stargazers, and that's a full 90-minute set with all the theatrics, all the bells and whistles, and we are also going to have a $500 cash costume contest, and we'll do that as an intermission. And so we want to see the very best costumes in the state, and only one will be chosen.
Well, we actually did a separate event because John did one. We always partner with John, but we want the house packed.
Yep.
So we make it known that for all the out-of-state viewers, that would love to be there. We're going to be live streaming it and archiving it. But we definitely want to see people in full Halloween fare.
Yeah.
Because if you start out at the coffin races and somehow make it all day to Stargazers, you're going to be
You're doing
in
good.
probably with the top
Yes.
20 considerable.
Exactly.
Yeah, because down in Manitou, costumes abound.
Yeah.
It's a photographer's delight.
It's another
just,
world. It's great.
oh, we're just clicking away.
It's
Yeah.
another world. It's fabulous. Yeah.
Now, I wanted to also talk about the Rock and Roll Machine CD. That's more of a festive Halloween type of thing that you put together, and
It's thematic. JP and I coordinated on that a couple of years ago, and I always wanted to make my own record and my own original songs, and so it was an opportunity to do that. And it's really an allegory. Each song is a standalone story on its own, but they also tie in together. And it's a lot of fun. It was great to make it. Having his creative input on it was invaluable, and we had a terrific time doing it. And definitely we sell those at the shows as well, so if someone wants to see the other side of me, which still has, I call it a hybrid almost of maybe a Rob Zombie feel to it, and maybe a Deep Purple thing going on, because I've always been into those grind organ sounds. And a lot of special effects. Each song has its own little intro that I like to create, and so we had fun with it, yeah.
well, as I mentioned earlier, we, being independent internet radio, can do pretty much whatever we want to do. And what we did last year is we did Halloween themed music all day, October 31st, the traditional day.
Yes.
And we would love to put that in too, because we actually have about 8 hours worth of all Colorado music themed for Halloween, and it worked really well. And we want to keep the entertainment going. We want to include you as a Colorado born artist. We want to showcase everybody.
I wasn't born in Colorado, so I have to correct you on that. I was born in Michigan.
You know, I should have brought my girlfriend. She would have drawn that out. She is from Lake Odessa, if you know where
I was born in
that
Upper
is.
Michigan, so I'm almost Canadian, eh?
Half my family's Canadian, but you know, we know that. But most people will go, "Wait a minute, you don't have the accent anymore."
But at this point, my family can't coax me back, and this has been home for a long time.
Oh yeah. But I want to thank John Eddy Productions for bringing you here for the Booze and Brews. That's going to be a great event at the event center. It's a different name than it was a couple months ago. I don't know who's picked that up, but that is a great place to have a lot of people come together.
Yep, absolutely.
And the Coffin Races is a great party. The Halloween party at Stargazers, it holds 500 people. We want the seams to kind of break a little bit.
Exactly. That's
Yeah, so we're going to be walking around and doing some Facebook Live bursts from people that are going to be entertained by the band, and we can't wait to do this. I don't want to wish my life away, but boy, we've got a lot of events that we're really happy to do.
Appreciate it. Well, thank you guys for coming out. Thanks so much.
I want to thank you all. It was a pleasure meeting you, and I know that you guys are going to be more or less in caricature at the show.
For sure.
Yeah, so...
let's give them a big, let's do a 1, 2, 3, let's go. Happy Halloween. Okay, ready on 3.
all right.
Okay, pause. 1, not you, I'm coming. 2, 1.
Happy Halloween!
And you are on KCOS, digitalmedia.com, all Colorado music, internet radio.
I can't remember all that, otherwise I'd say it.
That's quite all right, yeah.
If you had a teleprompter, I could do it, but yeah.
Yeah, we're not there yet. We don't have a degree in
That's
film
all right.
production.
Yeah, you have a
but-
degree in the willingness and energy and passion to do it. That's what
Well,
it's about.
that's exactly what we do. You'll see us on the streets all the time.
Great.
But once again, thank you for letting us into your rehearsal
Thanks, Pete.
spot.
Absolutely.
Don't
Nice.
tell anybody where it's at.
You know, my lips are sealed. You gave me enough bribery that, yeah, we're good. And we will see you the 28th. We're
Yes.
having other engagements up until then, but we're definitely going to
You'll be a
invite,
better person for it.
we're going to invite the town, and we're going to party because we got some friends that are going to really enjoy what you do.
Absolutely. Appreciate it. Thank you
Yes.
guys.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Cool.
Thanks for coming out.